Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, February 12th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. First up, we've been noticing from different various tools out there that they've been reporting that the Google search results, specifically in the mobile space, have been fluctuating tremendously. There was reports from Moz, there were reports from AccuRanker. Moz said it might have been just messed up with their data. They weren't exactly sure. AccuRanker was confident that there was an update. That being said, it seems to have died down. If you notice any changes in your rankings, it might have been mobile related. It might have been some Google testing. Maybe they've been upping their mobile their mobile friendly algorithm or not, but it's hard to know for sure. Google, this is some of these common SEO theories that when you see a crawl rate spike in your Google Search Console data, that means there's an algorithm update about to happen, because Google's more likely to crawl faster on your website to get more data and metrics on your website and then push out an update to their algorithm. That's not true. Gary Ilias from Google said it's a myth. I asked him, I hear many say huge spikes in crawl rates signify an upcoming update, truth or myth. He said myth. And then later on, with Eric Enge that night, yesterday, he actually went ahead and spoke to Gary about this, and Gary went into more detail about why that makes no sense, because again, crawling and indexing has nothing to do with the actual algorithms. They're two separate systems, yada, yada, yada. So it's good to get that myth out of the way. That was definitely one of those most common, more common discussions around possible signals for Google algorithm updates. Google is investigating a Polish hacker who is stealing webmaster rankings, specifically by using iframes and different vapor URLs, as Google's calling them. And we have the whole details. It's translated from Polish to English, and it's not so great. And Google's actually starting to look into it. They put their team on it as of 2 days ago. And if you translate what they're calling it, at least from Polish to English, they're calling it vapor URLs, where these Polish hackers are using vapor URLs to try to trick Google to think that these URLs are really theirs, and they pretty much take over the website and their rankings, which is pretty upsetting. It's nothing new, but it's definitely getting out there in terms of visibility, in terms of people knowing what this stuff is. Google has issued many spammy structured markup manual actions over the course of the past 6 to 8 weeks or so, and it seems to be coming from WordPress recipe plugins, according to different reports out there. There's a bunch of WordPress recipe plugins like Ultimate Recipe, Zipless, Yummly, and Easy Recipe Plus, and these seem to be generating lots of structured data markup on your website on places that it probably shouldn't be. So thus, Google's going ahead and issuing these spammy structured markup notifications. And what you have to do is pretty much remove these recipe markup from your website and then manually place the structure markup, or in a more automated and structured way, add these things to your site where it makes sense and not just everywhere. This morning, yesterday, Bill Hartzer went ahead and noticed that the Google link operator, link:/site www.site.com, went ahead and stopped working for many sites. Like you can't use link:/www.google.com, youtube.com, hotmail.com, and so forth. It does work for other ones like Yahoo and Search Engine Land and a bunch of other sites. The question is, why did it stop working for some, and why is it showing such bad data? Google, a couple weeks ago, actually removed from their search operators page the link operator, just like about 2 weeks ago. And when Gary was asked about this on Twitter from Google, he said the short answer is no, we did not remove it. But there's a longer answer, which I emailed Google about yesterday. Google has not responded to me. I think they will today. And when I get that information, I will definitely update you guys in Search Engine Land and Search Engine Roundtable. This is interesting. The other week, we actually reported that you could actually make changes to your knowledge graph. So what happens is, if you are the official representative, as Google calls it, of a knowledge graph card. The knowledge graph cards are things that come up. Let me show you. See if this works. It's getting slow. So there it goes. So this is knowledge graph card, a card that describes a person. So this is my knowledge graph card. I'm not signed into Google here, but if you are signed into Google, what you'll see is the ability as an official representative, you can suggest a change to your knowledge graph. When you click that, it lets you actually edit different content blocks here and submit a change, and then Google will review that. Google is supposedly acting on that within 24 hours, usually within a few hours, to update the knowledge graph card. We've seen this a lot of times where people, official representatives of the knowledge graph card, say, hey, I'm not married to that person, or I didn't die, or this person did die, or this company has the wrong phone number, or whatever it might be. And because of that, Google's really acting fast on that and providing a way for the owners of those knowledge graphs to go ahead and update their knowledge graphs very quickly. Google yesterday with Gary and Eric Eng basically had their interview, and basically what he said is that we aren't going to provide SEO certification. Google's Matt Cutts back in 2010 said the same thing and explained because it's hard, because if one SEO company gets certification and then they go to the dark side and then you certify them, then it looks bad for them. Gary said it's also an issue of scalability, because it's really hard for them to offer certification on a large scale and scale it up very quickly. Plus, they don't want to take money from anybody on the organic side. They don't want somebody to pay Google to say they're certified for SEOs, and then their rankings and the organic side are really not money driven. At least that's what they say. So there's a whole thing over here with the interview and why Google says they're not going to be providing SEO certification, and Google said they discussed this many times, and each time they say they're not going to do it. And obviously, this dates back to well before 2010, but again, it's good to see them discussing it over and over again. Also, Gary said that the app install button engagements, so if you have an iPhone or Android, you search and an app install button comes up, the engagements on those app install buttons are very low. And because of that, they decided to move those resources that were working on that to different features, he said. A little bit surprised by that. I mean, I'm not surprised by the engagement is low, because in my analytics, the engagement is incredibly low on my app install buttons. I'm a little bit surprised they aren't. He made it sound like they're pretty much not working on this stuff anymore. I'm not exactly sure how close he is to that team, and he didn't seem to be 100% confident in those answers, but it was pretty upsetting. Bing Ads has, or still has, a major outage with their reporting engine. It began, I think, even Friday of last week, Saturday, Sunday, people started to notice it more. And Bing apologized on the 9th, and the issue is it's really affecting all reports. Let me just go ahead and click on the status report to see where they stand now. I know things have started to come back with the Bing Ads, but I'm not sure if it's fully back. Let's go to older issues. Well, the status report isn't really loading for us. But anyway, I think it's almost fully back in terms of the Bing Ads reports. If it's really, it was a major and embarrassing embarrassing bug for Bing Ads to have their reporting engine pretty much not working for a few days at least. Google announced they are automatically blocking 3 of the top fraud botnets. They basically said they counted for over 500,000 affected machines, and they went ahead and blocked those botnets going forward. So some of them, one is called BEDEP, B-E-D-E-P. There's also Betal and also Chang Tai Hai. In any event, it's pretty cool that they're actually blocking these at a wider scale level and an automated level. Google said they're dropping they're dropping Flash ads from the display network completely and switching to HTML5. The dates are starting June 30th. You will no longer be able to upload Flash ads to the display network or AdWords. And starting January 2nd, they will stop showing them completely. This doesn't involve video ads. You can still use HTML5 for video ads. I assume because the player is different and it's not using a Flash player. Google AdWords has revised the workflow for how they manage automated bidding. So it's actually it's significantly different. So if you want to take a look at that and using automated bidding, definitely take a look at that over here. And finally, the AdWords team is now providing 24/5, so 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, support for AdWords customers over social media, including Twitter, Google+, Facebook, and YouTube. All you have to do is add the hashtag AskAdWords to any of your posts on those networks, and somebody will reply with you 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday. In any event, thank you so much for listening to this Search Buzz video recap. Today, again, is Friday, February 12th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.